And what do we see? Remember that I have been telling you that this gun, this particular gun, is on the top of the evolutionary ladder, but all at the same time, it has all the same features, all the same outlines, all the same style that the previous models got. Remember, I remember that in 2003 when I saw the very first model of the Dimatrix, I was shocked because all of the guns before, they were like brutal, they got angles, they were like heavy looking. But when you check out the M3, it was like from the gun from the space. So all at the same time, the M3s is still the gun from the space with all the sleek lines into the design, with all the sizing the company catch once again, in the past and keeps putting those things into their new models. So as you can see, all the lines on the exterior are following each other. For example, you can see that there is a grip line over here and it's followed by the line in the milling of the gun. Yeah. Sometimes some gun producers are not trying to make the lines together. Yeah, sometimes the line on the grip is by itself, line on the gun is by itself, but here Dai decided to make it really cool and nice. So what I'm trying to explain and what I'm trying to tell you that this gun from all parts is looking as a one complete, cool, designed piece of a product. And now we're gonna go through those features that this gun is having. So first of all, the features that are remained from the previous model. First of all, it's on-off, the ASA. It still has the same trigger. This way there is no air in your gun. This way there is air in your gun. All what you need to remember that you need to lock it every time, because if you leave it like that, the part is plastic and you can break it. Yeah. So don't forget, when you ungas your gun, take the tank off and put this thing back into the lock position. This way, it's not gonna be broken. Never gonna be broken. Another feature that remained the same is the grip. The grip since, wow, maybe 2009 too, the frame that Dai has designed back in those days was revolutionary because all the other grips were super fat, super heavy, super big. Dai decided to make such a fantastic shape. Guys, I have always been inviting Dai teams to be able to hold this grip and to shot from such kind of the gun with such kind of a grip. And finally, Russian Legion is having the same grips and shooting the same guns, and we're having the same grip. It's super comfortable. It's amazingly comfortable. It is the same from the M2 model probably, but as you can see, the Russian Legion custom model is having sleek white rubber parts. And all together with the rubber parts, the white rubber parts, and the grip, the back grip, and the front grip, everything looks just fantastic. And when you hold the gun, it feels fantastic because the quality of this rubber over here is out of the control, out of the limit. The best part of the whole system is that it can easily take those parts without any special tools. Yeah, so you can see it with the front grip. If there actually don't need it, you don't need to make it pretty often. Yeah, but if there is some dirt and some paint in there, you can easily take it out. See if you need to tie up this screw over here or the screw over here, tie them up and put the grip back. Easy. All the same features are happening to the back grip, but you need to remember that you don't need to get too many times under this thing, because on the all other guns, you need to get there to take the battery out, right? Over here, remember, there is a wireless charger. You just put this way your gun to charge, or in case if you forgot your mat, because for example, I'm not carrying this mat to the tournaments, I'm having it at home. If you are at the tournament, you have over here a special charger set. You can easily open it out and close it after you charge it, so you don't need to get into your grip at all. But remember, it's really easily taken out without any tools. Next part that Dai keeps placing on all of their guns is the eye pipe. I think once again this technology has been presented in 2008 or 2009. Since this part appeared in your gun, there is no extra piece over here outside of your gun. There is no extra screws on your gun or anything like that, because right now your eyes doesn't need to be cleaned, because usually all the paint all stays in this eye pipe and flies away with your barrel while the bolt is firing. So there were a couple complaints that the previous eye pipes were pretty thin and they could be cracked easily, so the customers had to buy lots of those. This final model and the evolutional part of the die is 70 or 60% thicker than the previous parts been installed on all of the M2s and NTs and all other guns. So this thing, it's like a nice solid cup that probably supposed to never be broken. But once again, guys, remember that paintball players are pretty much talented and they can break everything. So just remember, this thing is nice and thick, but don't be too heavy when you time your barrel in there, yeah? This way is enough, but when you're trying to tie it harder, believe me, you might gonna crack even this solid part in your gun. Okay, and now we're going with the fresh new features that this gun is having. So, the trigger, at the first sight, you probably think that it's all of the same shape and size and angle as the trigger on the M2, but it's a little bit redesigned, it's a little bit different, but all at the same time with simple screws that you can see over here and over here. You can adjust this trigger really quick and to yourself. Usually there were some troubles with another guns and with another triggers. There were lots of screws on this part of your trigger, so you have to come with the special keys over there with the small keys. You were kind of trying to screw this screw or another screw, so every time I felt myself as the guy working with the bombs. You never know which screw was reliable for what. Yeah, if it was about the sensitivity of your trigger or if it was about the length of the trigger. So you always had to go yourself for these features. Right now, with two simple screws over here, you can take your trigger really close to the fire mode, yeah, and then with another screw you can make this length, this distance after the fire as short as this possible. And the only screw that you need to screw over here is the screw with which you can modulate the angle of your trigger. Why is that so possible? Because in the standard position, trigger is straight, and sometimes you have to shoot with the tips of your fingers, yeah? But remember, with the tank, your fingers can be lying this way, and by adjusting your trigger, screwing the screw, you can take your trigger straight under your fingers. It's gonna be really comfortable. That's what I'm always doing at my gun. Next feature that the M3 is missing, but it's not a big miss, it's the LPR. All the previous models, except the NT probably, got the LPR system. Of course, it was helping somehow to make each shot as soft as this possible, but you know that in all of the technologies, the simpler the technology, the more reliable the product is. So when you have like an extra set of the technology in your gun, like the LPR, first of all, it makes your gun less reliable automatically. It's just the statistics. Second, it spans more air. When air from your tank is supposed to go not supposed to go directly to the solenoid, but first it's supposed to go to the LPR, then from the LPR to the solenoid, and only from the solenoid it's supposed to go into the breech to make a fire. Right now, the M3 is not having the LPR. That's why you can see that the gun become much thinner over here. And overall, the shape of the gun has become much more sporty. Yeah, it's kind of more muscled, it's kind of more active. And luckily and helpfully, it's because the LPR is not over here, so designers can easily make the gun thinner and follow quite different lines in the design, milling, and PGA. Another part of the gun that Dye decided to renovate and made perfect probably is the feed neck. The shape is pretty much the same as you can see at the M2 and all the previous models, but it has a very cool arm over here, yeah, with which you can lock your loader pretty nice and hard into this feed neck. This piece by itself is really solid. It's big and it's never gonna be broken or bended, but all at the same time there is a cool part on the other side. It's a big screw which you can screw only with your fingers. Yeah, when this thing is unlocked, it's easy adjustable. So right now, even if you change the loaders quick into the game, you can easily adjust the size of the feed neck to the new loader that you have in right now. Before that, it was not so easy because you had to have a key in your pocket. With the key, you lock this thing. With the key, you tie it harder to make sure that the loader is not going to fall off while you dive in or something like that. Right now, up to me, this part is the optimal. It's the best. There's nothing else to change or adjust over here. It's great as it is, and the size and shape is giving you a great chance to look alongside your barrel, so nothing actually blocks your sight while you're firing your gun in any type of the game situation. And we're coming closer to the main part, to the heart, to the guts, to pretty much everything what the gun is about. It is the drivetrain. Yeah, as you can see, the way how Dye is giving you a chance to get to your drivetrain is the same. There is a interesting button over here on the side of the back part of the locker. Usually all other guns are trying to make it kind of more simple and bold. It's just this part just snapping up. But Dye is having the good chances to produce this thing, to create this. So up to me, this way is much more comfortable and much more reliable because it's never gonna snap up by itself, and the bolt drive is not going to fire into your face if there is some air inside of the gun. This part is a piece of a product too, a piece of an art too, because it had like a cool sticker behind, probably for you to remember that you're firing the Dye gun, nothing else. This button, we're gonna talk about this later. When we're going to be talking not about just the M3, but we're going to be talking about the Russian Legion custom version. But usually you just push the button and easily take the bolt drive away. And what do we see? First of all, it has a spring. Yeah, this spring helps the bolt to move much quicker and spend less air while it's moving and making each single shot. Another cool feature of the spring, it's kind of a bumper. Yeah, right now your gun is not kicking that hard, and all at the same time there is no bumper O-ring that is placed behind that will be damaged every time since you're firing too much. Now the spring is kind of damper. It helps your gun not to be kicked a lot, not to get up a lot while you're making one line of fire, and all at the same time it saves lots of air. What do we see inside? Remember that all of the Dye bolts in their guns were super long. They were like that. Right now, this part is divided, it's separated, because once again, Dye wanted to make a really reliable gun and very modern gun. Right now, the bolt is short and it has only one O-ring on it. One O-ring that you're supposed to check, clean under it, clean it over, and put some lube on it. Before that, you got like 3 or 4 O-rings that you have to check every time after you play the game. Another cool feature of this bolt is the bolt tip. As you can see, there is a big hole over here. What it gives you. When the ball comes into the breech, if you have like a straight shape over here, it just stays over there and might bounce back. Yeah, this way the ball will not be completely in the breech, the bolt will gonna kick it and cut it into the bridge. This way, when each single bolt is falling down, it goes here in this hole, and the next ball is pressing it, so not giving a chance to this ball to jump back into the feed neck. So that's why we got this part over here. It gives a chance to ball to go backwards a little bit and be in the most safe position, not to be broken. And all at the same time, the air flow that comes off this big hole is not kicking the ball in the very middle, because you can see that this part is redirecting the air to go all alongside the ball. So it goes around the ball, not in the ball. So altogether, this ball drive is giving you a chance and giving you a good possibility to shoot 3 more pods, and we have already proved it with the same amount of air comparing to the M2 and M3. You can shoot 3 more pods completely and easily all at the same time. Guys, I played like 2 tournaments with this gun and 1 tournament in Moscow and lots of practices in Moscow. I had no breakages with this ball drive and with this ball system. It's just amazing, and it's already battle tested, and it's already proved. So what producers, what Billy Wynn was saying, it is working. And when the company is saying something and it is working, you have a complete belief. Believe me. What I need to say in the very end, that I've seen many ball drives in the previous guns, and up to me, when you see that the gun outside is a great piece of a product, and you come inside and see that the company also spent lots of money to make this beauty, you understand that company is really care about the customers. This piece, when you look at it, is also giving you a very good emotions, and you understand that, wow, this drive is not going to set me up, and this drive is not going to break any paint. And all at the same time, it has a very nice and solid click in the end. It's really nice and solid, like a clip in a clip in the real gun. That's a cool part, cool feature, and that's pretty much it about all the M3 features that the new gun is having. The only thing that I need to remind you in the very end, but I'm not going to show you that actually, because it's about the solenoid. The solenoid is once again pretty much the same. It was pretty much reliable on the M2s. There is only one part that it is changed over there, but it's okay. Right now, once again, it's super reliable and works for a very long time. And what I love a lot about die guns, that they kept the high pressure regulator of the same size. So the high pressure regulators, they were given a super small difference in between each ball firing. It was like 689, 690, 691, like 3 or 4 difference in between each shot. That's why Dye decided to keep the same size and the same regulates out there from the previous models. And the last feature is about the on-off. I already explained you about this part, yeah, about this trigger that puts the air on and off. Sometimes with the standard tank that you're playing, it might be super short or super long when you take a new gun. And usually before, in the old days, you had to get a new rail to be able to readjust this on-off to make it more over there, to make your tank shorter, or over here to make it tank longer. Then there was another feature of like the tank extenders that you can put over the tank regulators, so you can make your tank longer at least, right? But here, with the simple screw over here, it's not here or anywhere, just over here. You unscrew this part, and then this on-off can be easily slided in the rails that are installed into the back part of the grip. It's super comfortable, and it's more than just enough to give you a comfortable feeling of your gun when you buy it and put your old tank to it. You can easily adjust the length to which to one you really like before with your old gun. And as a dessert, I'm going to describe you the features of the Russian Legion Custom M3. Yeah. So first of all, I already told you that this gun contains a number of customizable features, because before, like 2006, 2008, companies were trying to make a custom milling for their guns. Then the gun was getting smaller and smaller. There was less and less material, less and less space which you can cut or mill something. That's why everybody started to make the PGA. It's like a sticker that comes onto the gun. When there is no chances to make a PGA or milling, there was still a chance to put some custom stickers on the gun. If it was not this, this, and that, then companies were making like a total laser engraving. And if neither laser engraving, PGA, milling, or like custom stickers were working, companies were making just a standard color, not standard color scheme for their guns. What do we have over here? Just count the number of the technologies that die used in making our gun. First of all, the most standard, laser engraving. This button is laser engraved over here. Second is the special custom sticker that says Russian Legion. It's on the side of the gun. Then let's go with the special color scheme. Yeah, remember that all of the grips for the die guns are black. Dye decided to give us a surprise and make them white as the colors of our jerseys. Amazing, fantastic. All at the same time, PGA, look at the PGA. It's all around the gun. It's all around the gun. Usually when standard companies are making the PGA, the very top of the gun is empty, but here it's all covered. And when you look closer to it, you see that there are a number of layers on this PGA, because there is one layer of the red color, another layer of the blue color. Over them, there is a layer of the Russian Legion logo, and over everything is the Forging Champions sign and the 3 stars, the golden stars that symbolize how many times Russian Legion been the World Cup champions. And in the very end, we have a milling on the barrel. So we have 5 features, 5 unique features on our custom gun. We can't be more happy than this. This gun is a true value as the M3 itself and as the custom version of Russian Legion. Guys, if you are a big fan of paintball or you're looking for an amazing gun, believe me, the custom versions from the die are amazing guns, or the M3 itself is also a very good piece of a product. And I actually need to explain to you one thing. You know that this gun is called M3s. Okay, M is matrix. 3, it's a 3rd generation. But what the S is about, I was asking myself this question. Usually the car companies like to place this S letter in the very end of their sports models. Yeah, but here we already got the sports gun that doesn't need to be upgraded or anything like that. It doesn't need to be upgraded for many years, like for 4 or 5 years for sure, because right now the M3s are having the best number of the technologies in the world of paintball, and actually not only the world of paintball. It's like the smartphone technology with the wireless charger. So the number of the technologies, the number of features is really given a quite different sense to the S letter. I must say that I translate the S letter in the very end of the name of the M3 as the smart gun. The M3 is a truly smart gun, the new generation of the gun. And I have no doubt that all of the other companies in few years will be using all the same features as the die has presented you right now in the year 2018. Believe me. So don't hesitate yourself. Come to the die sites to see what of the guns are available. Get yourself the M3s, and believe me, this gun you would love and you would keep it for many, many years. There will be no need to change this gun very quick next year or something like that. Thank you for your attention. Cheer for Russian Legion. Stick to die. Bye-bye.